terrorists of the Southwest. And the reaction to that 1 year ago was the establishment of the Amotekun to defend the local people because the federal government failed to do so. For some curious reason, the government has refused to designate them as terrorists, even though they've killed more people than probably any terrorist organization in the world, because they've been designated by the International Terror Index as the fourth most deadly terrorist organization in the world. But in Nigeria, they're alive and well. And one cannot deny the fact that there must be a link to this, simply because the president himself happens to be of the same ethnic extraction as these people, and for some reason he's pampering them. But whatever the reasons, there's been a failure of duty on the part of the government to protect the people. And like I said, they encourage them, they pamper them, they support them, and they defend them. They've defended them on many occasions when atrocities were being committed. So that's the position. In terms of the state government, well, the state governors, particularly of the Southwest, have tried their best because they don't have any power over the police. They don't have any power over the military. They can only ask for help. And that help comes sometimes, and it doesn't come at other times. But in the case of the Fulani herdsmen, the help never comes. So what some of them have done is pass local legislation to stop these people from moving around freely and so on and so forth. That has helped to a certain extent. But what they've done is regroup in these forests, amass their power, amass their arms, amass their criminal activities, and sprung on the local population. And people have been killed. Businessmen, traditional rulers, leaders, market women, the rich, the poor, the big, the small, being slaughtered on a daily basis, and nobody is being brought to book for this. So that's the position. The government has failed. The government will continue to fail. And as long as they refuse to designate these people as terrorists, I don't see much joy coming at the end of this. This will continue. And I pray that it doesn't degenerate into something else.
Okay, thank you very much. You mentioned that the federal government has failed, and you mentioned that it's for some reasons best known to them. Do you think, okay, I want to ask you, okay, we've mentioned the role of the state government, the federal government. What about the elder statesmen? You know, we know that in Nigeria today, we've had past president, we've had people that have actually dealt with all of this insecurity issue, and people that have, of course, knowledge about this.
Every leader in the Southwest that's worth his salt. Every responsible leader in the Southwest, I'm talking about the Southwest now, has spoken out against these atrocities. Every single one of them has asked for help and support from the federal government and asked them to do the right thing and asked them to deliver our people. And they have turned a deaf ear to those voices. Every single one, whether it's Afeni Fere, whether it's Yoruba Koya Group, whether it is Obasanjo, whether it is this, whether it is that, every single person has spoken out. Professor Akitoye, Babadi Banjo, we've all spoken out. The old leaders, the young leaders, everybody. And nobody's listening. And the people are being slaughtered on a daily basis. And you know, you cannot therefore blame the local people to say, look, if government won't defend us, if government won't deliver us, then we have to defend ourselves. And that's what we're beginning to see unfold. And that's where people like Sunday Igboho now come in, because their position is that, look, nobody's helping. These people are killing. These people are kidnapping. We know who these people are. We know where they are. And we need to do something about it. And I'm glad that Governor Akere Dolu in Ondo State has taken the measures he's taken. It's a very, very bold initiative, courageous initiative, rather like what Fayose did in Ekiti State when he was governor, and rather like what other Yoruba governors are trying to do now, and that is to empower Amotekun to do what the federal government was meant to do, but refused to do. So I commend their courage, I commend their commitment, and I also commend every voice in the Southwest that has spoken out against these atrocities. We see, the problem here is that it's not just a farmers, herders clash. We believe, and rightly so, that we are under occupation. And when people are under occupation, it does not bode well for the unity of the country. And what makes it worse is that when we complain, when we say this is too much, when people's homes are burnt, their children are raped, their wives are raped before them, their children are slaughtered, they're all slaughtered in large numbers. We're not talking about small numbers, hacked to pieces, all kinds of atrocities being committed, ethnic cleansing, genocide, but they refuse to use these words simply because it's not politically expedient to do so. But that's what's going on. And when we complain that this is what is going on, you have groups like Mieti Allah, the umbrella organization for these herdsmen, the Northern Elders Forum, and the Arewa Consultative Forum will come out and then say, we are asking for war when we say that our people should not be killed by their people. This is unacceptable. We have nothing against the Fulani people. I believe in peaceful coexistence, and neither do I believe that anybody has the right to give eviction orders to any ethnic nationality. I do not subscribe to the view that Fulanis should all leave the Southwest, and neither do I subscribe to the view that Igbos should all leave the North, or anybody has the right to tell a whole group, ethnic nationality, to leave any other part of Nigeria. However, I do believe that people that have been identified as killers and murderers and terrorists, and those that seek pleasure or take pleasure in slaughtering others, that it's right and proper for the government to flush them out and bring them to justice. And it's right and proper, if the government fails, for the local people to say, look, enough is enough. We know who you are. We know what you're doing. Leave us alone. Stop killing our people and get out of our territory, or else we will defend ourselves. It's perfectly natural to do that. And by the way, it is also lawful. Nobody should feel threatened by that. And what the Northern leadership should do is tell those Fulanis that are committing these atrocities to desist from doing so and leave the territories. That's what they're supposed to do. Sadly, they failed to do that.
Okay, so you say it is lawful to ask the Fulani herdsmen to leave. And I want to ask you now, Mr. Sunday Adeyemo, the popular Sunday Igboho, is a citizen of Nigeria, just like every other person or individual living in the country. And would you say his action is legitimate to have asked a group of people to vacate a particular place in Nigeria? As a citizen, does he have the authority to do so?
Somebody comes to your house to try to kill your family, and succeeds in wiping some of them out. That will never happen to you. I'm just using it. Or let's say somebody else. They go there, they pillage, they kill, they rape, they slaughter, and the owner of the land and the house will now say to them, "Listen, you have no right to stay here and you have to leave." And they tell you, no, we're going to live in your sitting room and there's nothing you can do about it. After all, the federal government, the police, the authorities have not asked us to go. We have a right to occupy you. We have a right to rape your women. We have a right to kill your children. We have a right to slaughter you and take everything that belongs to you. Do you really believe it's illegitimate for the owner of that land and the owner of that house to say, listen, either you leave or we're going to have a conflagration here, because I cannot continue to be your slave and I can't continue to allow you to slaughter my people? It's as simple as that. Now, he has not asked for all Fulanis to leave. If he did that, I would oppose it. I would oppose it. He has not asked that the whole of, every Fulani person should leave those areas. He does not have the right to do that. But he certainly has the right to say those that kill and kidnap and maim must leave. And he did precisely that, and it worked. And he went to them peacefully, without any arms. They tried to shoot him, they pointed guns at him, they shot guns at him. He disarmed them and he said, I've come in peace, but I want to see your leader. He spoke to the leader. He said that the leader accepted that his boys slaughtered a very prominent businessman that came from abroad, a Yoruba man, and established his business and employed over 200 people in that area. And him and so many others, that the man acknowledged this, and that he now told him, produce the killers. If you don't produce the killers, please, you and these killers must leave. And he also said that the Seriki himself had, got a kickback, whatever you call it, from the killings. Now, these are very serious allegations. And in a serious country, the police ought to investigate this, invite the man and arrest him. Instead, the man that said, stop killing our people, stop raping our women, and stop kidnapping our people is the one that's being threatened with arrest. When the northern youths, 1 or 2 years ago, said openly that every Igbo man must leave the East, nobody threatened them with arrest. Nobody, and they didn't say those that kill. They said all Igbos must leave the East. Nobody threatened them with arrest. Nothing happened. But when people are saying these guys should leave after they've slaughtered our people, kidnapped our people and killed our people, people are saying he should be arrested. Is that fair? Is it reasonable? Is it rational? Of course it's not. And we're not prepared to take it anymore. And let me tell you, his actions reflect the views and have the support of 99% of Yoruba leaders and Yoruba people. He has spoken the minds of virtually every single one of us. And I commend his courage. And I would urge the government to be extremely careful in how they handle him. If you kill him, there will be a terrible reaction in the Southwest. If you arrest him, you're going to make him a hero. If you kill him, he becomes a martyr. If you arrest him, he will become the greatest hero since probably Balu Boderinla, who delivered us from the Fulanis in 1840 and pushed them back from Oshogbo back to Ilori. So this is the dilemma that the government has. Now, what's the solution? Do your job. Go in there, disarm these people, fight them, and take them out and bring them to justice. It's not for the ordinary people to do that. It's for the federal government to do that. But they have refused to do it simply because they have ethnic affinity with these people, and they are pampering them, and they're encouraging them, and they're supporting them.
Indeed, you have mentioned that some of the claims are made by Mr. Sunday Adeyemo. They are very serious allegations, and we can't, of course, confirm any of those at the moment. I just want to put that on record. And while you were talking,
well, let me just say this just before I acknowledge what you said. I happen to believe those allegations. Why? Because every traditional ruler in that area has confirmed what he has said. Every single leader in Okeogun area of Oyo State has said the same thing, and it's not a new problem. It has been going on for a number of years now. So that's the position that we've taken. And virtually every Yoruba believes that.
All right, thank you very much. You spoke about political expediency, and I want to refer you to a statement on your website. You said some Yoruba leaders want to be president or vice president in 2023 and are therefore prepared to keep quiet and tolerate this rubbish that has been done to our people. I'm not one of those leaders. Nothing in this world can make me trade in the blood and lives of my people. Who are these leaders that you think are keeping quiet because they have perhaps an ambition, that a future ambition? Who are these leaders? Would you mind sharing your thoughts on them with us?
They know who they are. They know who they are. And I don't want to be mentioning names on your program, and I don't want to offend anybody. When I choose to be offensive, I can be very offensive, and I will be offensive when the time is right. And I've said in that same essay that the time will come when we will start naming these people, naming and shaming them, because we're tired and we're fed up. You see, I visit these communities, not just in the Southwest. I've visited the communities in southern Kaduna, in the Middle Belt, in the core North itself, where so many people have been killed by these herdsmen and bandits. I've visited them in the Southwest. I've visited them in the South-South. I've visited them in the Southeast. And I've visited these communities. I've seen the damage these people do. And nobody speaks for the victims. Nobody defends them. Nobody stands up for them. It's almost as if they're being sacrificed. And I'm talking about huge numbers. Zamfara State, for example, up until the time the new governor came in, 300 to 400 people were being killed on a daily basis. Nobody cared. This, to me, is unbelievable. It's almost as if we've all become sociopaths. We have no empathy with the victims. Now, in the Southwest, particularly where I come from, what has been going on there is nothing less than occupation. Literally, you have an army of Fulani herdsmen. If you're herding cows, why do you need AK-47s? If you're herding cows, why is it you're kidnapping people? One of our leaders, when the daughter of the leader of the Yorubas, leader of Afenifere, Baba Fasoroti, his daughter was killed. One of our prominent leaders of Southwest went to pay him a visit, condolence visit. And when he was told that, look, we all know who did this, and the Fulani herdsmen did it. And his question was, where are the cows? Where are the cows? Well, of course, he got his answer about 2 months later, when those that committed this heinous crime and murdered this lady, beautiful lady, were caught. And of course, they were Fulani herdsmen. So there you are. Many of our leaders were living in denial. But what Sunday Igboho has done is that he has galvanized the thinking of every Yoruba person. And even the leaders are now coming out openly. Only one or two have not said anything. I know who they are. I will not mention them now. But we're waiting, and we will see at the right time. We will name them and we will shame them. And let me also say this, in fairness to them,